But yeah, so I need to figure out something for Mondays because with how crazy the weekends have been getting, because before they weren't really that bad. You know, we would go out and we'd do things, but when Monday rolled around, I was like, okay, yeah, let's work, and I was ready and everything. Oh, that was the world's fastest fucking green. So it was fine, but now the weekends are just getting so much later and so longer and a lot more work. I put the header on my Miata as well this weekend, which was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad of an install. It probably took me about 4 hours by myself. The hardest things to get off were the EGR valve and the O2 plug, were the two kind of threaded on things onto the exhaust manifold that needed to come off before I could put the performance header in. But luckily, once I got those off, the whole thing came out in one big piece. I didn't have to mess with anything. The bolts on the... oh my god, okay, you know what? I'm going through it. Give me a red light ticket. I don't care a damn. I'm not sitting there letting one truck, one car at a time go through that fucking intersection. That's ridiculous. God damn it. And then we got to deal with this guy. Oop, downshift. Downshift. Down. See if we can get ourselves on the highway here. Oh, I don't even think this is a... No, it's not. Okay. This is just its own lane. So, yeah, it wasn't that bad to install. It took about 4 hours. The new one went right in there. I didn't have to deal with something that... one of the things that most people had to deal with when doing their header, which was the CAT bolts, the catalytic converter bolts. Those get rusted to hell very easily. And I've already dealt with that nightmare of having to get those... oh, shit, I gotta get over. With having to get those off. So that was one thing I didn't have to deal with. A lot of people said, yeah, the header bolts were fine, but the cat bolts were really stuck on there, and it took me forever to get those off. I've already dealt with that, so that's not that big of a deal. I'm coming over, truck. I know you're not giving me any room, but I'm coming over. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. The header bolts didn't get stuck too bad. They were pretty tight on there. I just WD-40'd them and just let them sit for a while I did other things, and just kind of kept coming back, kept WD-40'ing them, kept letting them sit. So it was a little bit of just kind of patience time, letting those things soak. But once I let them soak for probably about 40 minutes, just keep applying once they kind of looked not as wet as they did initially when I sprayed them down, then it was easy after that. It was a little bit of elbow grease to kind of get those initial break of the bolts, which was the scariest thing because that's when you fuck something up. But just give it a little bit at a time, just kind of, not too forceful, just a little tugs here and there, and that sounds weird, but you just, kind of keep going. And then they eventually just came right off. So it wasn't that bad. It was relatively easy to do the header, so I'm excited. The sound isn't too different. It has a little bit more of a, I don't know, I guess a raspy note to it. It doesn't have, the sound didn't change much, which I was actually kind of surprised by. But then again, I already had a high flow cat, and I already had a catback exhaust. The header was the only thing that was there, but it was just a stock header. The stock position is a 4-to-1, which, for those of you that don't know, 4 outlets into one pipe. That's a 4-to-1, and those aren't the greatest for performance because you're cramming 4 different outlets into one big one. The performance headers I got are 4-to-2-to-1, so 4 pipes to 2 pipes to 1 pipe. And I think that configuration is definitely more suitable because the biggest change, which a lot of people said, and I was looking out for, is they just said that it just felt smoother in the lower RPMs. And that is exactly the description that I would say. You're not going to get a performance boost. Depending on your exhaust setup, you might get a sound boost, different sound. But for me, I got a lot of low RPM smoothness coming up through the RPMs. It just didn't feel like it had that much holding it back anymore. It just kind of felt like it was just whoop, whoop, through the RPMs. The engine felt a little bit smoother, so it was actually pretty nice. It was actually having me mess up my shifting a little bit because it was just, you're so used to like, okay, hit the gas this long, shift, hit the gas this hard when getting back, you know, all this type of stuff. And because the engine was a little bit smoother and the gas pedal was a little more sensitive, I was messing things up. So yeah, it was one of those things. But it wasn't too bad. It was pretty enjoyable. You know, after getting everything done and set up, it was nice knowing that was just finally done. And they're California legal, so I don't need to worry about smog or anything like that. So I think it was worth it. But yeah, it was just a busy weekend. It's just the busy weekends. Then when Monday rolls around and I'm sitting at home and I'm not doing anything, I'm just exhausted. I'm just so tired. And typically what happens, like a good example, yesterday, I didn't get any videos out. I wanted to get videos out, but I was so tired. And then I spent all the day just recording with other people. You know, me, Jeff, and Polecat recorded some spin tires. After that, me and Polecat recorded a bunch of different stuff. So this is a stop sign. So yeah, I just spent all day recording. By the time we were done, I think the last thing we ended up recording was at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. By the time that came around, I was exhausted. I was done. I wanted to get things edited and ready to be out at noon tomorrow and all that, but I was just so tired. I had to go to sleep because sitting there trying to edit tired, you're going to miss things. You're not going to do it right. You're going to mess up. You're going to just not, you know, it's just, if I'm not in the right mindset, it's just not worth doing. As much as I love getting videos out at the time that I do, I knew that I could get them out. They would just be a little bit later than normal. So I just need to figure something out with Mondays and, I don't know, maybe come in early on Sunday nights or something and get some extra sleep just to kind of get myself ready for a Monday. But yeah, Mondays are exhausting. They really are, especially after spending 3 days of working outside in the heat. And I'm really hoping that this heat isn't going to last much longer. I know with summer, it took a while for the heat to come in. We had the beginning of summer was very cool, and we were all like, "Oh yeah, this is fucking awesome." We're in June and July, and we're not even sweating or anything. We're like, "This is awesome." Well, I'm really hoping that doesn't then mean that this summer is going to go far, because it's now the middle of September, and it's still pretty warm outside on a daily basis. So yeah, we're kind of wondering how long this heat's gonna last, because you guys know me, I don't function in heat. My brain doesn't work in heat. I need to liquid cool my brain. That's what I need to do. I need to hook up a radiator and a fan and liquid cool my brain, because it just doesn't work. My brain just does not work in the heat. So hopefully summer won't last too much longer, or the heat, well, technically summer's over, but hopefully the heat won't last too much longer. And then from there, I hopefully won't be getting as tired on the weekends, because there won't be the heat. That's the biggest thing. Doing work is not that difficult. It's being out there in 85, 90 degree heat, doing work, sweating your ass off, getting so hot that you're just wanting to sit down and just go to sleep instantly. Yeah, it's not fun. It just drains you. It drains you for that day. It drains you for the next day. And it just takes forever to recover from that. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on the weather. Hopefully it'll start getting cooler faster, because, 85 degrees in the middle of... what I don't want is what happened last time. I think it was last Halloween, October 31st, right before November. And we're over there in t-shirts for Halloween. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that you're cold on Halloween. That's how it's supposed to be. But it wasn't. At least not last year. So I'm hoping this year isn't going to be the same. I want cold. Give me that cold. I just work so much better. So I think we're pulling into Phoenix, though. We definitely are. 6 miles away. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but that's not that big of a deal. So we're pulling into Phoenix. We'll go ahead and drop our trailer, and then we might, I don't know. I'm not sure about what we're gonna do next in terms of job companies. We might change it up, or we might just go ahead and do another Wallbert. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. But I might. Typically, what I do is I record 2 episodes in a row of American Truck Sim. I might not do that today because I really want to see your guys' reaction to some of the other content that we've been putting out. You know, other games that we've been playing, not our normal types of games. I really want to see the reaction to that stuff. Also, I'm interested if you guys have any games that you suggest, that you recommend, something that would be, I mean, it could be co-op, it could be just 2 people, it could be 4. Either or is good for us. So if you have any suggestions for good games that you would think that we would enjoy and that, you know, you want to see us play, definitely let us know. I have a couple of weird suggestions or a couple of weird games I'm kind of keeping an eye on right now. So yeah, we will, we'll see. We'll see what's coming because yeah, we never know. I remember when we first started playing Spin Tires, we first put out Spin Tire content. We all were like, yeah, it's, you know, it's a fun game, but we don't know how much people are going to enjoy it. People really enjoyed it. We got asked all the time, do more Spin Tires. Where are the Spin Tires? We want Spin Tires. And we thought, really? Like that's what people want to see? That's interesting. So we never know what could catch on, what couldn't. That's why we're kind of just diving into some new stuff. It's also nice to kind of get away from the things that you normally play and just play some other games and just enjoy what's out there. So yeah. All right, well, we're pulling into the Wallbergs next to Truck World Total Truck Care. And we'll go ahead and drop our trailer here, or attempt to. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna mess up this time. Pull in, let's make sure the trailer's in, and I'm gonna go around back. I know my drop's in the front, but I'm gonna go around back so I can then not blindside this in and not do what I did last time, which was do a terrible U-turn and hit invisible walls. So should be relatively easy though. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see about the drop. Could be easy, could be extremely difficult. Well, only one way to find out. All right. We'll go and see what bay we need to get into. All right, so we need to go into bay 5, which is right there. Let's get ourselves set up for that. Okay, we're straight. And we will stop right about here. All right, let's go ahead and see. We got some room on the right. Bay 5 is right there. Let's cut it a little more. We really want to get that end of that trailer and got to be concerned about what's happening on the right as well. Oh yeah, that's working really well. All right, let's go ahead and pull up here. Straighten ourselves out just a little bit. Get ourselves lined up with that yellow stripe back there. Perfect. Boom. Parking brake. Flashers off. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer. And turn the headlights off as well. Pretty nice park job. Pretty lined up with that door back there. Go ahead and drop the trailer and see what we're going to get for this run. So, 384 miles, took us 10 hours, 55 minutes. We consumed 67 gallons of fuel. We got $27,000 and 1,600 XP, and we are 10 XP away from level 26. Wow, very, very close. But we'll definitely be getting that next time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to hit the like button. It really does help me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.